I'm going to show you step by step how to oil and massage your own head so you get the maximum thickness and length and reduce your anxiety a lot. If you don't have anyone to do it for you, you can do it for yourself in under 10 minutes twice a week and still see amazing results. Step 1 is always to thoroughly brush out the hair unless your hair is really curly. If your hair is too curly to brush out, you can do one of two things. One is either just take the brush or a scalp stimulator and go in and move in circles so that your scalp is actually moving, not just your hair or your scalp. Do this for the entire scalp, go all the way through in little circles, do maybe 5 seconds at each spot or 3 seconds at each spot so that the entire scalp is activated and the oil can actually penetrate through. Or as a really curly haired person, you can switch step 2 and step 1 and get your hair wet first, because step 2 for me is to get my scalp entirely damp and my hair as well if I'm putting oil on it. Getting your scalp damp is a really important step that a lot of people skip and then see bad results and blame oiling. But the reason we get our scalp damp first is so that the oil can spread a little bit more easily. It won't get applied in clumps in one area. It'll spread all over more easily, and it will wash out a lot more easy, which is better for the cleanliness of your scalp. You do not want oil sitting in there after you've showered, because that's just going to attract more dust and more things that can clog up your pores. And the most important reason to get your hair damp first is so that the oil can actually lock in the moisture, not the dryness that you already have, because oil itself does not provide you moisture, but it can lock in the moisture. So if you add all this water, and it should be filtered clean water, not anything from the tap, if you apply oil on top of that clean water, it will be much softer. A lot of people oil on a dry scalp and then experience dryness and flaking all over. And a lot of people forget to get the back of their scalp wet, so make sure you do the back as well. Now that our hair is completely damp and the water is pretty much all the way through everywhere that you are going to apply the oil, you can grab your oil of choice. I'm using the herbal growth recipe that I've been raving to all of you about. Actually, I'm going to use the extra strength today. Here it is. This stuff smells a little bit better than the other batch if you don't like very herbally smell, but I think some people actually love that herbal smell because first of all, it lets you know it's working and that it's all natural, organic, there's nothing weird or funky in it. It's made with ingredients that have been known to work in India for centuries. So is this one, but it smells a little bit more lavendery, so it smells better. Whichever growth oil you're going to use, grab it, shake it up, get a dropper full, warm it up in your fingertips. Fingertips only, because this is what we're going to use to really massage this oil in. I always start at the very sides when I'm doing it for myself, because this entire front area is what experiences the most traction or the most pulling, so where you'll experience the most loss. So I just go in and gently apply a thin layer of this oil all the way around the front of my forehead. Now I part my hair in the center as best as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Second dropper, you take it, rub it into your fingertips, go to the top of your scalp. That will be 8 fingertips in. You can put it like this, 4 and 4, starting from the top of your hairline, and wherever that 8th fingertip ends, this point is very important. Or you can also find it by putting your thumbs on top of your ears, letting the middle fingers meet in an even line, and this is the spot that is very important for you to massage for at least a full minute here. If you have excess oil on your hands, put it all along the parts, get it all off, rub it into this center part of your scalp. This is another area that needs a lot of attention. Come back to that center point, find it, and massage this for at least one area so that you can see your own scalp moving like this. Do that in one direction for 30 seconds and then switch directions for another 30 seconds. You may use way less oil than me depending on how much hair you have currently, but this is my 3rd dropper of oil. I'm going to massage this into the back of my head. This is the next spot that I do. I just go in where the neck meets, where the hairline is at the back. Depending on how long you've been oiling, you can go really hard at this point or more softly, just comb it through like this, making sure it's reaching the scalp. Stay here massaging for another minute at least where the neck and the scalp meet. Take your index fingers, gently press into it, maybe lean your head back a little bit to add a little bit more pressure, and massage this point just for a minute. 4th dropper, I think we're on number 4. Warm it up in your fingertips. This is going to focus on the very back of the head where your cowlick would form. I think that's what it's called, the little swirl that's at the back of your head. You're going to start there and apply the oil on this point and then expand out like a circle. So this entire circle that surrounds that swirl at the back of your head. You're gonna massage the oil into this entire area. And again, make sure the scalp moves quite a bit as you rub this in for maybe 30 seconds here. Now I split my hair to one side. Fifth dropper, gonna get spread onto this side of the skull all the way through. If you have thinner hair, just be really gentle with yourself at this point. Don't go crazy trying to get it in there like I am. And if you see all the Indian women doing jumpy and they're like rubbing the hair out of their skull, do not do that as a beginner. You will lose way more hair than you are mentally prepared to. So go gentle with yourself if you are just starting out or if you have very thin hair. But if you don't, and if you've been doing this for a while, you want to build up the force that you put on this, because the more force you put in, the deeper that oil is going to penetrate, and also the more strength you're giving to your roots, in the sense that you're like slapping some energy into your roots. I don't know how else to say it. You're energizing them so that they have their own blood flow. I don't know if any of that made sense. Maybe I'm getting a little too relaxed, but sixth dropper, massage and spread it all the way through this side of your head. That's 1 is the hairline, 2 is the middle part, 3 is the back of the skull all the way through the back, 4 is the back up here, the top back, which is the circle that goes around your swirl point. 5 is the one side, whichever side you want to start with, and 6 is the second side all the way through. And finally, if you want your mids and ends to be softer and also gain some strength, I take a 7th dropper. This is the only dropper that I put into the center of my palm and warm it up into my entire hand, and gently just comb this all the way through, again focusing on areas that are really dry. And the most important part of this is to finish it right. Make sure you braid it so that it doesn't get knotted up and cause you a lot more hair loss. Then cover it up with some sort of plastic wrap. I've seen some girls use some from the kitchen and wrap it around their head. I get these and I try to reuse them, or if you have a shower cap that you can wash, you can put a shower cap on and then just wash it after you oil. You want to make sure it's completely covered so that this heat stays. For bonus points, if you get a towel, cover it up with this extra layer to keep the heat in. If you do this double step of wrapping it and then covering it with a towel, I promise you, your hair will be so much softer, the oil will penetrate so much deeper, and you will see new growth much faster. My homemade oils are available on my website only, and they work, so go try one. And if you've already tried one and you love the results, share your before and after pictures with me and I'll send you a bottle of either one of these for free. I'm Mal. I'm here to share meditative practices and wellness tips that are for really busy minds, so follow to keep growing with me.